The gymnasium of the Galactic Academy fell silent as Marcus Chen walked through the automatic doors. Every synthetic eye, thermal sensor, and optical cluster in the room swiveled toward the human, the first Deathworlder to ever enroll in the institution's mandatory physical education program. Instructor Vixlara, a Thessian with 4 graceful limbs and skin that shimmered like pearl, consulted her datapad with visible concern. Humans were classified as Class 12 Deathworlders, originating from a planet so hostile that it had spawned thousands of apex predators, all competing for dominance. Earth's gravity was nearly double that of standard habitable worlds. Its atmosphere contained a highly reactive oxidizer, and its native species had evolved an almost supernatural endurance. "Welcome, Cadet Chen," Vixlara said, her translator rendering her crystalline voice into flat standard. "Please join the warm-up formation." Marcus smiled politely and moved to an open space among his classmates. To his right stood Krelix, a methane-breathing Hifari encased in a protective suit. To his left was Sala, a Valorian whose species prided themselves on their agility. Both gave him wide berth. "Today," the instructor announced, "we begin with cardiovascular assessment. A simple 20-minute endurance run on the track. The pace will be comfortable for all species." The class moved to the running track that circled the gymnasium. The pacesetter drone activated, projecting a holographic marker that would maintain what the Galactic Educational Board determined as moderate aerobic activity. The run began. Marcus settled into an easy jog, breathing steadily through his nose. Around him, his classmates maintained various forms of locomotion, some gliding on specialized limbs, others propelling themselves with coordinated appendage movements. The pace felt glacial to Marcus, who regularly ran 5 kilometers every morning. 5 minutes in, Krelix began to show signs of strain, his suit's cooling system working harder. At 10 minutes, several students dropped to walking pace. By 15 minutes, only half the class remained at the drone's pace. Marcus hadn't broken a sweat. "Impossible," Sala wheezed beside him, her dual lung sacs working rapidly. "How? Are you not tired?" Marcus glanced over, genuine concern on his face. "Are you okay? Should we slow down?" The Valorian stared at him with something between awe and horror. Humans, she realized, considered this torture session a warm-up. When the 20 minutes concluded, Instructor Vixilara's biomonitors had recorded something unprecedented. While most students showed elevated stress markers and depleted energy reserves, the human's vital signs barely registered above baseline. His heart rate, that primitive muscular pump that somehow sustained his entire biological system, had only increased by 30%. "Fascinating," Vixlara murmured, making notes. "Cadet Chen, how do you feel?" "Good, ma'am. Ready for the actual workout." Actual workout. The word sent ripples of dread through the recovering students. "Very well. Next we assess strength and power. Please approach the resistance stations." The resistance stations were designed to accommodate various body types and strength levels. The standard starting weight was calibrated to each species' average capabilities. For humans, the galactic database suggested a baseline that seemed reasonable, based on their muscle density and skeletal structure. Marcus approached the lifting station, where a bar loaded with weight discs hovered at chest height, suspended by anti-gravity emitters. The readout displayed 45 standard units, roughly equivalent to 45 kilograms. He gripped the bar and lifted it overhead with one smooth motion. Then again. And again. "Cadet Chen," Vixlara interrupted after his 20th repetition, "you may increase the resistance. This is meant to challenge you." "Oh, sorry." Marcus adjusted the weight to 90 units and continued. Across the gym, a Tindari student attempted to lift his species-appropriate weight of 12 units and managed 5 shaky repetitions before his crystalline arms began to fracture at the microscopic level, a normal training response that would heal within hours. He watched the human press double his body weight overhead with mechanical precision and felt his ancestral prey instincts activate. The horror truly set in during the flexibility assessment. "Humans," announced Instructor Vixlara, "are believed to have limited joint mobility due to their rigid endoskeleton structure. Cadet Chen, please demonstrate your maximum range of motion." Marcus sat on the floor and reached forward, folding himself nearly in half as he grasped his feet and pulled his chest to his knees. Then he transitioned into a split, his legs extending in opposite directions at a 180-degree angle. Several students made distressed sounds, The Tindari student fainted. My species evolved hunting persistence predators, Marcus explained, standing up. We had to be flexible to navigate terrain while chasing prey for hours, sometimes days. Days. The word hung in the air like a death sentence. Salad did the math in her head. Humans would literally chase their prey until the animal died of exhaustion. They were endurance hunters from a high-gravity world with an oxygen-rich atmosphere that supercharged their cellular respiration. Their bones were dense enough to withstand impacts that would shatter most species. Their pain tolerance was legendary. They had an entire sport based on hitting each other until someone surrendered. And this Marcus Chen, had joined their gym class. The final assessment was the team obstacle course. The students were divided into mixed species groups, expected to help each other navigate barriers designed to challenge different body types and abilities. Marcus's group faced a vertical wall, a rope traverse over a pit, and a series of balance beams. When Krelix struggled with the wall climb, Marcus simply lifted the suited Hyphery and placed him at the top. When Sala's smaller frame couldn't reach the rope, Marcus formed a bridge with his own body so she could cross. When the wall proved too high for most of the team, Marcus climbed up and dangled down, creating a living ladder with his arms. We evolved as social creatures, he explained later, helping a trembling Tindari down from the final obstacle. We're stronger together. As the class ended and students limped, slithered, and floated toward the exit, Instructor Vixalara updated her assessment files. Human physiology wasn't just impressive, it was terrifying. They came from a world that tried to kill them daily, and they responded by becoming unkillable. But what truly unsettled her was the kindness in Marcus Chen's eyes as he helped his exhausted classmates. Humans weren't just apex predators. They were apex predators who chose cooperation. That, Vixalara realized, was what made them truly dangerous, and perhaps someday truly great.